The Philippines, also occurs in Palau and parts of Indonesia. And I think the rest of that I've just covered in the earlier slide. Hey James, you ever see one like that? Nope. I was visiting my brother, Eric, my oldest brother, who lives in Atlanta. And he has a shell collection, and I just happened to glance and look at it a second. I said, what the hell's that? And I pulled it out, and I said, God, it looks like Durasa, but it looks like Hippopas. What is that? And the best I can tell is that it's a juvenile Hippopas porcellanus. That must be what the juvenile looks like if you clean it up. As they get bigger, they're pure white. So I'm not sure. And I open up the shell, and that's what it looks like. And remember I showed you at the beginning of the talk Tridacna eve, and I said that it was the inside of the shell that you were looking at the mold, and there are these markings like that along. And I wonder if Tridacna eve isn't really a Hippopas like this one is a Hippopas. We'll never know because it's a pretty ancient fossil. Can't go back in time. The Hippopas porcellanus was originally described from the southern Philippines into Indonesia, but in fact is now known to be much more widely spread. We're almost done here. When I was in the Red Sea back in 1997, I photographed not only Tridacna costata, but I photographed this clam. And mind you, I found both of those clams while snorkeling. And my camera equipment wasn't working very well at the time, but I had to go back down and look at this clam again and again. It was about 15 feet down. And I kept touching it and looking at it, turning it over, and it kind of looks like squamosa, but it's not a squamosa, and I wasn't sure. But I've seen more and more pictures of it online, and they look the same. Look, there's one. This one could be the same specimen, but it's not. Look at the incurrent siphon, no guard tentacles. Pattern's the same. Very, very low scutes. Here's another one. Same pattern. Here's another one, except look, it's got a little bit of guard tentacles on it. So here it looks like squamosa. Well, it could be that it is just squamosa. It could also be that there's a cryptic species, another one that hasn't been described, that hybridizes with squamosa in the Red Sea. This photograph is from the Red Sea. Whereas these photographs are from the northern Red Sea. That one is from the southern Red Sea. So, I don't know. Maybe there's another one there. This photograph from the Indian Ocean, clearly that mantle is squamosa. But look, almost no scutes. Sometimes that happens where the clam gets eroded just by, the corals around it. But, look back, these Red Sea ones, they have very reduced scutes. So maybe toward the Indian Ocean you have variation in squamosa where it has slightly different form. And compare this squamosa from the Indian Ocean to that Durasa. They're very similar looking. So I want to mention a few books. Daniel Knope's book on giant clams is a good reference. This is also, if you're interested in aquaculture and breeding of the giant clams, this is a very good reference that has a number of articles combined and edited by a couple of researchers who specialize in clams. And I've mentioned many times James's book, wonderful book on giant clams. And if you read German, recently released from Daniel Knope is an updated, revised edition of his giant clam book. That's all. I'll open the floor to questions. Thank you. I didn't pretty much explain it, but maybe you want to know about how to keep them or whatever. Go ahead. How you doing? Yeah. Okay, I think it's too early in the scheme of the pellet use to really determine if there's any problem interaction with the giant clams and biofilms. The point that you touched on right at the end of your question about low nutrients, that I can comment on. Yes, if the nutrient levels are maintained very low, the tridactylid clams probably will grow more slowly, and they may need supplementation to help make up for the nitrogen or phosphorus. So it depends on how low it is, but if it's ultra low and you don't have a good population of fish, you may need to bump up the food inputs to benefit the clams. I say that just with caution, not knowledge, because I think it's too early to observe. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Tridactyla temperoa occurs approximately 70, 80 feet deep.
It tastes like